There and just a tad more humidity in the air.
Just a touch.
I mean, enough that you might notice it outside. I want to show you what it looks like on our tower camera because you can certainly see the humidity. Yesterday, we had mostly sunny skies. Today, you'll notice more cloud cover, and a big part of that is because we have an increase in humidity. A live look outside over the Southwest Freeway. A few patches where we've got the sunshine, but otherwise we've got some puffy cumulus clouds. Don't get too excited. We're not expecting any rainfall, but it definitely is a bit stickier. Temperatures right now in the upper 70s and the lower 80s, so very similar right now to where we were yesterday. The big change is going to be those dew points. This time yesterday was in the 50s. Now we're in the mid 60s. This is going to be the trend, so feeling a bit more muggy. But still, not a bad afternoon if you are heading out to do some early voting. Temperatures warming up to 86 by 2 o'clock. At the heat of the day, 86 to 88 degrees. Those polls open through 7 o'clock this evening. And because we have a bit more humidity, temperatures not going to cool down as efficiently. In fact, overnight tonight, temperatures only going to be falling into the lower to mid 60s here in Houston. 64 degrees as we kick off our Wednesday. And then as we go through the rest of the week, high temperatures kind of teetering on that upper 80s to 90 degrees. You'll be seeing mostly sunny skies. Not a whole lot of changes here, but we are tracking a few subtle changes. Through the weekend, we're going to track a weak cold front. That's going to drop our highs to the mid 80s as opposed to the upper 80s Sunday and Monday. And then late next week, we are tracking the possibility of some rainfall. I've got more details on the potential showers coming up. Chances on our 10-day forecast until next Wednesday. That's October 30th and then October 31st. If we don't see rainfall, this is going to go down as the driest October on record. The second driest, that was in 1934. We only saw a trace of rain, or basically a sprinkle. So this is something we're watching extremely close. So you might be thinking, why don't we have any rainfall? And it's actually because of this high pressure ridge out in the Gulf. This is creating a heat dome. It keeps us hot, it keeps us dry, and it prevents us from seeing those daily showers. You'll notice on our future track, we do have a few fronts that try to move into the state, but none of them quite make it into southeast Texas. A dry front is going to push through as we get into this weekend. Not going to bring any rain chances and not going to bring any big cool down. In fact, our high temperatures, they're going to be dropping from the upper 80s only into the mid 80s, so really not even very noticeable. And our temperature outlook, this is the longer range as we look ahead into the first day of November. All of Texas expected to be warmer than normal. Remember, by this time of the year, we're talking about highs in the upper 70s. This means we're likely still going to be sitting in the mid to upper 80s. As for the next rainfall chances, I mentioned that's coming at the end of the month, and it's actually coming with a cold front, not a guarantee. Remember, this is day 8 and 9, but this is showing on Halloween. It's possible a cold front could bring the rain through. I know that's kind of a bummer for trick-or-treaters, but at this point, we really need the rainfall. So a lot of us in the weather department, we're crossing our fingers for a little bit of Halloween rainfall.
Joining us, it's been lovely outside. A little dry, but I mean, nice overall.
Nice overall, and it actually does feel good out there. I just stepped outside, and there are a few subtle changes. So let's talk about those changes. A tad more humidity today. You can see that starting off with the cloud cover. Yesterday, it was mostly sunny skies. Today, a mix of sun and clouds. We've got those high clouds out there in our Houston area Chevy dealer's camera. But all in all, it is pleasant. It's comfortable. Visible satellite showing most of that cloud cover. Going to be for areas along and south of I-10. Areas like the Woodlands up towards Madisonville, Brenham, College Station. You've just got bright blue skies and plenty of sunshine. Now, temperature-wise, we have been able to warm up into the mid-80s. This is warmer than we should be, but a lot cooler than we were this time last week. Last week, we hit 98 degrees on Tuesday. Today, we're topping off in the mid to upper 80s. You will notice those winds coming in from the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. This breeze, it's not crisp and refreshing the way the breeze was over the weekend. Instead, it's about a humid, warm breeze, but don't let that stop you from heading out to the polls. Early voting in place today through 7 o'clock. Sticker time at 5 o'clock, 84 degrees, partly cloudy skies, temperatures all in all pretty comfortable out there. Not forecasting any rainfall tonight, but because of that increased humidity and the cloud cover, we're not going to be as cool as we were this morning. So starting off our Wednesday, we're going to be sitting in the mid 60s here in Houston, and then into the afternoon, once again warming up into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. That's where we're going to stay as we go through the rest of the week. Right now, no rainfall through the weekend, but Lisa, coming up, we're going to talk about rain chances on the 10-day. If not, it's going to go down in history as a dry October.
All right, we'll see you soon for that, Caroline. Thank you.
This evening, I think it's got a call for something outdoors on the patio, perhaps.
I mean, I think the patio is a great idea for this evening, especially while we still have these sunsets a little later. We do have that time change November 3rd, so very soon.
Okay.
Sunset's going to be in the 5 o'clock hour, so enjoy it while it's still at 6:30. Light when you're driving. Shot from the Houston Zoo, some of them basking in the sunshine, other flamingos just splashing around in the water on this Tuesday. You can't blame them. Temperatures quite a bit warmer than this time yesterday. Right now, 86 at the zoo, about 4 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Air temperature across the board in the mid to upper 80s, 88 degrees in Katy, 86 here in Houston. You will notice those dew points just a touch higher. That means you might notice that humidity, especially for folks south of I-10. It's not too bad, though. I think this evening looks delightful. Temperatures cooling through the 70s tonight. By tomorrow morning, we're going to be waking up in the mid 60s. All in all, a delightful evening ahead. And waking up tomorrow, we're going to be in the mid 60s here in Houston. A cooler start to the day, but by the afternoon, very similar to today. That means if you're getting out for early voting, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, pretty much a rinse and repeat. We're starting off cool in the 60s, warming up into the upper 80s, mostly sunny skies. I wouldn't be surprised if a few locations start to hit 90 by Saturday, but here in Houston, I'm keeping it at 88 degrees. The reason why we're so warm is a high pressure system just dominating the forecast. This is helping us stay dry. It's helping us stay warm. And unfortunately, we're getting to the point where we really need the rainfall. You'll notice our future track showing a few fronts pushing into the state, none of them quite moving through our area. It does look by this weekend we could see a weak cold front push through. That's not going to bring any major changes. In fact, if anything, it's just going to bring our highs from the upper 80s to the mid 80s into next week. Our extended forecast is going to show rain chances not showing up until Tuesday of next week. And even next week, we're only putting a 20% chance. And look at that, Halloween now on day 9. Hey, stay with us. We'll be right back after a short commercial break.